Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles. Today I'm talking about all of the books that I DNF'd in 2023. I have 22 DNFs, which in the grand scheme of how much I read last year is not terrible, so I'm not mad at it. Any books that I have a DNF review of, I will have linked in the description for you. A DNF review is typically just me talking about what it's about, how far I got, and what exactly it was that made me decide to put the book down. There will be spoilers in those. I feel like that's self-explanatory, but there's that. I'm not really going to talk much about what a lot of these are about because oftentimes I probably don't remember at this point, or I just don't care, or I didn't make it far enough to really be able to tell you because we know I don't read synopses. So the first book was Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey. This was me attempting to give her a second chance after I read The Echo Wife and rated it 1.5 stars. I didn't make it far. There was a murder that happened in the beginning and I was like, ooh, she might have got me this time. And then we got to the main character and I was like, I don't like you and I don't care for anything that's happening anymore. So no. Also, a theme that you're probably going to notice is that I can only handle the main character being a dumb bitch for so much. But it gets to a certain point where I'm like, you know what? I can't just sit here and watch you be dumb. I can't do it. For example, the next book, Black Girls Must Die Exhausted. So I had been sent all 3 books by the publisher, hoping that I would like them. I thought I would like them, and I did not. I think I made it maybe like 26 or 27%. And it is a contemporary fiction about a Black woman. However, there's so much happening. And I do have a DNF review of that one, so I'll point you that way if you want to hear more of my thoughts. There were certain things that the character was doing and certain things that her friends were doing that I could not get behind because, again, I can only handle you being a dumb bitch for so long. And we weren't even far into the book yet. I couldn't do it. Robin did go on to read it, did not like it. Next is All the Fields by Olivia Dade. I have never DNF'd anything so quickly in my entire fucking life. I DNF'd this after 4 pages. I do have a review of this one as well, and frankly, I just can't root for a couple where one of them is just constantly comparing the other person to a fucking bird. I'm sorry, but that is offensive. It's not cute. I couldn't do it. I could not. Then we have Hollywood Homicide by Kelly Garrett. It's not uncommon for me to DNF a cozy mystery at all. And in this one in particular, one, the mystery has absolutely nothing to do with the main character. And there's an old friend of hers who she's no longer friends with because of something that she said. It's her fault. She had multiple opportunities to fix it, didn't do any of that, and then had the audacity to ask that person for a fucking favor. And it's like, well, what did you expect? So unfortunately, that did not work out. The next one was supposed to be a buddy read for Robin and I, but we both DNF'd Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky. This is, I want to say maybe it's YA, not middle grade. And it's sort of about folklore characters coming to life and there's some mysterious magic going on and it sounds really intriguing. However, I didn't like the narration. I didn't like the characters. I tried switching to the audiobook. I was reading it physically. The audiobook honestly just made it worse. I could not get through it and I did not care about anything that was happening. Next is Kingsbane by Claire Legrand. This is the second book following Furyborn, which was okay, not as good as I had hoped. And the twist was kind of easy to predict in my opinion. But in this one, oh my God, you want to talk about a main character being a dumb bitch? That is the definition of Riel. There is no valid reason for you to be doing any of the things that you are doing right now. You have no valid reason for any of your actions. That one I do have a review of, so if you want to see more of my thoughts where I literally just talk about how dumb that bitch is, you can watch that video. I only made it about 50 pages into The Bone Charred Daughter. This was supposed to be a buddy read with Monet. However, the first 2 chapters I think were pretty interesting and then I kind of didn't care, and Monet was like the most interesting parts at the very beginning and the very end. Everything in the middle is just there and I'm like, I can't waste my time. I had soft DNF'd it originally, but then I had no desire to go back to it. A friend had recommended Infinity Courts and I really like the concept and the world and everything that was going on. However, this is a young adult sci-fi and it heavily relied on a lot of YA tropes that I fucking hate. So I could not get past the tropes. But if anybody knows of a book that is similar to Infinity Courts but adult, please let me know because I would love to read it. Honestly, the world and everything was fantastic. I just hated the main character and I hated the tropes. Den of Vipers. This isn't surprising to anybody. If you missed that whole thing, I have a video talking about dark romance and intentional recommendations. I will have that linked for you as well. The bottom line here is you can't just go around recommending dark romance to any and everybody. That is reckless and careless, and nothing about me says that I would ever read a book like fucking Den of Vipers, but here we are. Check out that discussion video though. I think it was a very good conversation. I think people were very receptive to it, but that was such a fucking waste of my time. A Darker Shade of Magic. I still have those books. They're right there. Special editions too. And I will keep them because they're very pretty. However, I've never read a book that essentially has a multiverse and was boring as hell. That's crazy. That's a talent. How do you make a multiverse boring? That's wild. Next is Along for the Ride by Mimi Grace. I will be giving her a second chance, hopefully soon. I am actually really excited to read something else by her. However, the conflict between the two characters and why they hate each other didn't make any fucking sense at all. Like, if you're gonna have conflict, make me believe it. Make me also hate the other person. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I love enemies to lovers, but I gotta believe that y'all are actually enemies. Y'all just don't like each other because of one conversation that y'all had 5 years ago. Like, come on now, do better. I also DNF'd Have We Met by Camille Baker. The beginning of this just didn't work for me. The setup was odd. The concept of the app was odd. And I know there's a sequel now, but if anybody's read this, let me know how you liked it. I am not gonna read it, but I'm curious. Next is Let Me Hold You by Alexandria House. This is the second book in the McLean Brothers series, and I most definitely have a DNF review of this one because that story took a left turn that I wasn't even expecting, and I didn't even make it that far. I DNF'd before the reveal and had somebody tell me about it, and it was the very last thing that I ever expected to happen. Honestly, it's a good thing that I DNF'd that one, because if I had made it that far and found out what had happened with my own eyeballs, we would have had a problem. Assistant to the Villain. I will forever say that I do love those TikTok skits. I think they're hilarious. I will never read anything by her ever again. I didn't even make it far. I made it like 2 chapters in before I quit. I don't know what it is about the difference of the skits versus the writing, but it did not work for me at all. So, no. Next is The Jigsaw Man. A lot of my friends DNF this during Black Halloween, and I really couldn't get into it despite the fact that a serial killer, body parts popping up like, that sounds so great. I love serial killers, not like I love, you know what I'm saying. But the narration didn't work. I didn't like the audiobook narrator. I didn't care about the main character. It didn't work. Sight Unseen. I wanted to love this so bad because it's a Black romance based on Married at First Sight. Like, essentially this couple goes through Married at First Sight. And I think that the author maybe did too well a job capturing the awkwardness of the show, but also I just didn't feel the chemistry between the 2 main characters. It wasn't there for me. So unfortunately that didn't work, but I will be giving that author a second chance as well. Marrow by Britton Weaver and Trisha Wolfe, I think. I read something by Trisha Wolfe, didn't love it, and DNF'd that series. Was hoping that with this one I'd like it more because it's co-written and it's about rival serial killers and enemies to lovers. Sounds like a match made in heaven. However, I didn't make it far. I just didn't care. Next is The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin. This one was a very slow start, and honestly lately I've been thinking about potentially revisiting it. If you want to know how far I made it though and what my thoughts were so far, I do have that included in my N.K. Jemisin vlog. So I might revisit it at some point because it wasn't bad. It was quite intriguing. It was just so goddamn slow. Next is Mr. Teacher by B. Love. This was at the time the most recent release in that series. There's recently been a new one, so yay me. And I think for this one, there were just a lot of things happening. Like, it sounded intriguing from the beginning, and our couple already knew each other, and like that was fine. However, there were some background things going on and like a perspective that I didn't feel that we need. An attempted sexual assault that felt so fucking unnecessary, and I couldn't get with it. I had to let that go. Next is Call and Response. This is the third book in the New Heights series by CCJ. This is the first and might be the only time I ever DNF anything by CCJ, but I accept that I cannot like everything by her, so this is fine. I did not care for these characters. I don't know why. They just weren't speaking to me. I didn't feel the chemistry. Their first interaction was very odd. Something just felt off about it. Other books in that series though, highly recommend. Anything else by CCJ, highly recommend. This one just didn't work for me, and that's okay. Next is The Noisemaker by Danielle Allen. This is a New Year's Eve romance included in her Hot Holiday Hookup series. I just didn't care. That's it. I have no other explanation. I just didn't care. And the last book that I DNF'd is The Good Girl by Tracy Reed. I'll be talking about this in an upcoming vlog. When that's gonna come out, I don't know, but it's in the works. But this one was fine. I had gotten this book for Stuff Your Kindle Day, and which I don't usually participate in. So let's start there. I was actually enjoying it until there was a joke that rubbed me the wrong way. And so now I'm in the process of seeing if this author can potentially be redeemed. But yeah, that just rubbed me the wrong way, and I was like, this is very distasteful, so no thank you. Those are all the books that I DNF'd in 2023. Let me know how many DNFs you had. If you DNF, do you like wait a certain amount of time? Like, do you wait till you hit 25% or 100 pages-ish before you DNF? Because for me, once I feel it, I'm out of there. I'm not sticking around. I got too many books to read, and I can't be wasting them on things that I don't like. Like I said, anything that I have a DNF review of or that's included in a vlog or a discussion or anything, all of those videos will be linked in the description. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be my best of 2023.